Sharon Osbourne, the fiery X Factor judge and rock legend's backbone, was once seen as unbreakable. She stood by Ozzy Osbourne through addiction, betrayal, illness, and heartbreak, carrying a chaotic empire without ever letting it fall. When Ozzy died, many thought fate's cruelty had ended, but a new storm now threatens the woman who once defied all odds. If Ozzy and Sharon remain close to your heart, please like and share a tribute to their enduring love. Born Sharon Rachel Arden in London, her early life was shaped not by lullabies, but slammed doors and harsh discipline under her father, Don Arden, a feared music mogul. At 6, tragedy struck when her mother died suddenly, leaving a silence that never left her. Though surrounded by power and wealth, Sharon grew up without the safety and tenderness every child needs. She learned early that survival meant toughness and resilience. By her late teens, Sharon had become a master of power and negotiation, hardened by a difficult relationship with her father. Then came Ozzy Osbourne, now cast out, broken by addiction. Sharon saw a wounded giant she recognized and chose to stand by him, not just as manager, but partner, shattering her family ties and sacrificing her inheritance. This choice was love against legacy, a gamble few would make. Managing Ozzy was a tightrope walk over chaos. With money gone and his career in ruins, Sharon risked everything on his comeback. Alone in hotel rooms, facing unpaid bills, she prayed for the man she loved to survive. And he later said, "She saved my life when no one else would look me in the eye." Through fierce critics and personal struggles, Sharon became more than a manager. She became the architect of Ozzy's resurrection. Their marriage wasn't a fairy tale, but a battlefield, where Sharon evolved from exile to warrior, strategist, and shield. She raised a family and rebuilt a legend simultaneously, turning albums like Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman into triumphant comebacks. The Prince of Darkness brand was no accident. It was Sharon's vision, forged through battles both on and off stage. But Sharon's resurrection came at a brutal cost. Behind the roaring crowds and flashing lights, exhaustion and fear ruled. Sharon lived between the stage and the emergency room, between nursery duties and boardroom battles. Nights of glory ended in terror, overdoses narrowly avoided, secret ambulance calls, bills piling higher than applause. While the world saw the fire, Sharon saw only pill bottles, therapy schedules, and mounting invoices. Ozzy would sometimes stumble off stage, trembling, whispering, "Don't let them see me like this." Sharon, who had just put their children to bed hours before, held him up. Even her victories carried shadows. When she launched Ozzfest in the 90s, hailed as a ruthless mastermind, few knew the toll it took. Sleepless nights, strained marriage, aching body. She wasn't cold or power-hungry. She was a woman holding an empire together by sheer will and love. Sharon Osbourne was the backbone of the Osbourne legacy, canceling tours when Ozzy's health failed, rescheduling shows with fierce determination, and managing their empire like a general at war. By the late 90s, Ozzy was a legend reborn, carried by Sharon's unwavering strength. When the Osbournes' reality show made their family famous, the cost was high. Private heartbreak became public pain. Sharon's blunt honesty on shows like The X Factor won fans, but also brought harsh scrutiny, culminating in a scandal in 2021 that shook her world. Yet, she faced it with dignity, choosing truth over shame. Beneath the spotlight, Sharon fought a silent battle. Diagnosed with colon cancer at 60, she endured chemotherapy's ravages while staying the family's rock, supporting Ozzy through his near-fatal ATV crash and standing strong as her children battled addiction. Through every storm, Sharon remained unbroken, a fierce survivor whose courage and love carried her family through darkness and into the light. Outside, the world saw the Osbournes as comedic chaos, but behind the scenes, Sharon was enduring a personal apocalypse, alone, scared, and exhausted. She fought on 3 fronts: cancer, Ozzy's recovery, and her children's addictions. Yet she never collapsed. Her family's survival was a testament to her unyielding strength. Ozzy said, "She held me together when I was falling apart." Jack credited her for fighting for him when he couldn't fight for himself. Kelly remembered how Sharon was always there, even when broken. By the mid-2010s, Sharon had survived battles that would have destroyed most, but fate wasn't done. At 65, she faced another devastating reality. Her genetic risk meant cancer could return. Without tears or bargaining, she chose a preventive double mastectomy, a brave, clear decision to fight on. Sharon's double mastectomy was not about beauty, but survival. The scars were painful reminders of her choice to trade vanity for life, driven by her fear of leaving her children motherless, like she had lost her own mother. She never hid her scars, speaking openly about survival and imperfection, inspiring countless women. Yet, fame brought harsh judgment, and she struggled with regret over some cosmetic decisions, feeling frozen and fragile under the relentless public gaze. Despite this, Sharon endured, fueled by love and resilience. Ozzy later said, "She saved me, but she also saved herself." Her scars became a crown of survival, a testament to rising again and again. But the deepest wound came when Sharon discovered Ozzy's infidelity. After decades of protecting and rebuilding him, she was shattered. Their brief separation was filled with grief and disbelief. Choosing to stay and demand change took more courage than leaving. The aftermath plunged her into depression, her spirit breaking under betrayal's weight. One terrifying night, Ozzy, overwhelmed by addiction and illness, turned violent. Sharon feared for her life until police intervened. The trauma left deep scars, physical and emotional. Ozzy later admitted his rage was driven by sickness, not hatred. Sharon refused to be defined by that night. Instead, she made survival her testimony, to speak out, seek help, and break the cycle of pain. Through therapy, she and Ozzy began to rebuild trust slowly. Understanding forgiveness was a hard-earned process. Sharon didn't forgive Ozzy's betrayal because she forgot. It was because she wanted their family to have a future. Forgiveness was her act of defiance, not surrender. Ozzy sought treatment, acknowledged his faults, and credited Sharon as his lifeline. Their marriage, far from a fairy tale, was a battlefield where staying meant survival, strength, and love. Then came Ozzy's physical decline, surgeries, shattered health, and finally Parkinson's disease. Once the unstoppable Prince of Darkness, he was pinned by pain and frailty. Sharon became his unwavering caretaker, guarding his dignity through each painful day. When Ozzy revealed his diagnosis publicly, Sharon stood fiercely by his side, transforming his vulnerability into strength and refusing to let illness define him. During the pandemic, Sharon and Ozzy fought for survival, their bond deepening amid relentless challenges. Knowing Ozzy's time was limited, Sharon arranged one final concert, their farewell. Frail but defiant, Ozzy gave his last roar, a testament to life, love, and resilience. In his final days, Sharon was not manager or protector, but a wife holding on as the Prince of Darkness grew fragile. She tethered him to their life with whispered stories until he passed quietly on July 21st. Sharon stayed by his side, refusing to let go even as the machines fell silent. Their funeral was a coronation in reverse. Thousands mourned a king while Sharon grieved her other half. Alone, she faced the silence without the roar. Since then, Sharon's grief remains raw, but her spirit unbroken. She honors Ozzy's legacy through family rituals, charity, and projects, turning pain into purpose. Though smaller and more fragile, she carries the quiet strength of endurance, teaching us that resilience is rising even when broken. Ozzy's final roar may have faded, but Sharon's strength keeps his echo alive, showing us how to carry the light when darkness lingers. Please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share our videos.